Hello, folks, and welcome to Crystal Clash. I'm here with Red today. We're playing in the silver tier. There are three tiers. As you can see, I'm second in gold because spent a little bit of time in it, and also it's kind of the beginning of the month, so you can kind of get away with it. Something I noticed is that people in this game, I don't know if it's definitely not just me, because I've had a couple of friends I played with in this game, and all of them have pretty much the same thing to say. Like the people kind of feel like bots. Everybody is human. I can tell because I've friended some of the people that I was like suspicious of, and like they actually they're people. But I think nobody really just knows how to play the game, I think, is the problem. So I was going to make a tips type video. Alright, so this guy is basically the same rank as me. So he's a little higher, actually. So we'll see if it changes anything. Rank doesn't seem to matter in terms of like people's skill. So I think that's interesting too. So my favorite thing is to use a level 2, like a tier 2 spawner of some sort. Vanguards are very solid, so I like using them all the time. And then you want to have something for the very front, because you want to take this middle point. For some reason, 98% of players don't know how to take the middle point in the first part of the match, because they're too busy trying to build like one massive army back here. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we put one thing here, and you can see on the other end where they're supposed to put theirs to try and take this middle point, they have nothing. They didn't even try. And it just, people don't notice because they're too busy doing this, you know, trying to make one mega army. And thing is, you just don't need to worry about it. It just doesn't really matter. Like, we have a mega army too, but I also now have mid, so now our tower is going to help defend us. Another thing that people don't seem to do very often is doing counters like this, where I kill his ballista, which costs the same as my my rootling, and I've distracted a bunch of their units at the same time that all that's happened. So sometimes it's good to do counter builds. Maybe not necessarily a counter build, but like counter plays. Rootlings are very good for that. The frost worm that the dark faction has is also very good for that, because you can freeze the entire team. I don't really like thistles too much. They just don't do the kind of damage that you can see on other characters. Weavers are very, very good because they do the this, by the way, this is their final tower before we reach their nexus. You may not, if you played the game before, your brain's probably breaking thinking about it, because we had no real middle fight really, because we own the tower. They might be able to push us off their point here, but at the end of the day it really wouldn't matter, because we still own middle, so there'd be 2 more towers between us and them. If we can take this, then that's fine too. I have a cataclysm just in case things get rough. Having some sort of item in your build that allows you to turn the tides if things aren't looking good is very important. Something I forgot to do here is actually use my points, but it doesn't matter, because if you look here, it says I'm getting 12 mana, and if you don't use your mana, it just goes straight into your essence, which can be very useful for building more spawners. In this case, I need to build a priest because I haven't built any. They are coming towards our second tower. Something that's really important to do is to not let them, like, not feed them. So you don't want to like let them just build and build and build an army. You want to, if they're winning, you want to just let them push you a little bit so that they're not able to stack a lot of units against you. This looks like my counter play here against this ballista didn't work well. That's okay though. I'm going to try and put more saplings down so we can get more light, just 1 HP, 2 HP tanks in there, just to have something in front of the weavers so we're not losing guys. As you can see, we're kind of starting to stack a DPS line. That's one of the most important things to do in the game, is to stack. You want to stack. You want to be able to roll. So right now we have been kind of struggling on tanks. So I've put another tank spawner down. We're on tier 2, so I can put my vanguards in. I think, in my opinion, the second phase of the game is the most important, and that's what we're in now, because I can spawn in these granted, guys, phase 3, it's important to have something that you can scale with in phase 3 because you don't want the enemy team to just get stronger in phase 3. But most games end in phase 2. So I would say if you want to build the best deck, I would focus on a phase 2 deck. You want to have at least 3 cards for phase 1, and at least, I would say, at least 2 tier 2 spawners would be my like baseline. In the earlier difficulties, like with bronze, for example, you don't get as many dudes from each. Like you can see here, I only can spawn 1 more archer. You don't get as many of these in bronze, so it's better to have 4 phase 1 cards. But yeah, you can see we just destroyed them because we were able to stack our Stoneweavers, which are really good siege units. You can use other stuff, but Stoneweavers seem to be like the most reliable DPS, and you can put them in any deck because Crystal Legion can go with any deck, which I think is amazing. We're just gonna keep going, and we'll do another one, and I'll see if I have any more advice really to give. Yeah, so I got read into the game, and he pretty much exclusively plays with me, and I have never seen him lose a match over 7 hours of gameplay. So that's kind of why I was saying, like, sometimes the people just feel like bots because they don't really know what they're doing. And so it feels like a PvE game while you get to play PvP, which works really well for me because I don't really like the feeling of PvP games most of the time. Like, if you look at my channel, almost all my stuff is PvE, co-op type stuff. Except for Team Fortress. Team Fortress is just like something that got stuck in my head real early on. So, like I said before, to me it doesn't seem like rank really matters. Like, it's more like there's scoreboards in the game, and I would look at the scoreboards if you're interested in like how well somebody's doing. So I put my tier 2 spawner down. Sapling bushes are very good for just taking mid, because then you're not really sacrificing anything. You have the same amount of strength once they finally get to the front. Because I think that's most people's concern who know about how you can just kind of rush mid. I think it's always best to contest, no matter what deck you have, to contest this middle point. Our thing here is to try and stack. They have to defend against my tower here that's shooting at them and all my units. So even if I had lost a unit taking this middle point, we would still be stronger in this mid fight. I'm gonna go with Priest just to get a healer in. You don't necessarily need healers, but I have one in this deck just because. And the other thing with decks too are, you don't need the most efficient deck. I have a friend who has all archers and 2 Halo arrows, and that's his entire deck. And like he has a great time with it. We've won a lot of matches together. So your deck doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be well-rounded. It doesn't need to be even a DPS deck. We were discussing, there was a guy that we fought against who had a pretty decent melee deck that was just all skeletons. And it's not like, archers by themselves or skeletons by themselves are necessarily like the OP overall unit. Nothing can beat them. It's just that, it's just the way you play your decks, There are ways to make it better. I would definitely say that, having more choices in your deck is one of my favorite ways to play. But you don't have to, is all I'm saying. You can see here that our DPS line is just really crushing them, and we have some tanks in front to take out some of the damage that we could lose. Here's where the main problem is with attacking the final towers, is if you run out of tanks in front of your DPS line, it just deletes the entire line. So our archers are probably going to die here. Actually, with those vanguards coming in just in time, we actually might be saved. They are going to wave in, so that's nice to see. I do like we've got them down to 41% already, and this match has only been 2.5 minutes long. This is what I meant by don't try and make like a phase 3 deck, because most games are going to end in phase 2. Like, we've got 16 seconds till phase 2 here. They're starting to stack here. I'm going to just save. I'm going to build Stoneweavers. You can use those later. We are kind of letting them stack with the sapling bushes. I have Cataclysm in case they really do manage to get us really good. But yeah, I'm just going to put in my phase 2 stuff now because it's all ready. And as you can see, I put all my phase 2 stuff down at once. And I was immediately able to delete their entire push. I don't know if Red put stuff down during that, but at the end of the day, it really wouldn't it really wouldn't matter too much. But yeah, we've got them stuck at their own spawn pretty much. This is like 90% of my games are like this, where I'm just able to do one big push all the way back to their final point. And when it comes to trying to tech your stuff up, because you do have to research a lot of your cards that you get, these little things down here, it actually makes life a little difficult. You kind of want people to live so that you can research your phase 3 cards. So that's something that I've struggled with a lot, and I have a teching deck entirely around having like a really bad phase 1 set, and then like scaling up to phase 3. But yeah, there you go. There's another victory. But yeah, the card vendor is where you research your stuff, and you can kind of see I have everything except for Black Legion. I don't want to play this Legion very often, but you can see that there's kill 150 frozen units. Like, that's stuff that they want you to do. Use frost coils and whatnot. And then yeah, and then there's the leaderboards. Let's see where I'm at now in silver. I'm at 31. It does take a lot of time, I would say, to try and get into the top ranks. But luckily, if you see here, you can be in the top 100, and you'll still get like 14 days of premium, which just means better rewards for missions, and then you'll still get a little bit of gold. And even if you go to, I thought you got crystals for winning, but I guess not. That would be gold. Yeah, so in gold you get crystals even if you're in the 100th place. So I would aim for probably 50th. If you don't have a lot of time, I would aim for 50th in whatever section that you want to be in. And then if you've got a lot of time, I'd aim for probably the top 9, just so you can have some fun being in like the limelight here. This is my first time, I think, going in the top 3. That wasn't just like the first 2 days of the month or something. So, well, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully these were helpful tips that I was given, but yeah, thanks for watching.